So this was a really unexpected one. You might not have heard of this, and while it actually came out in 2022, it's easily become one of my favourite games of 2024. In the 30 years since my last video, or a month, as we discussed, one thing I have worried about is that we might be losing short, focused, single-player experiences. For clear reasons that don't need to be raked over again here, developers and publishers have a vested interest in players getting online and interacting with each other, and, importantly, never reaching the end. I dislike this. If you've watched my content to this point, you probably have a good idea that I'm a big fan of narrative, and you can't have a narrative without an end. You can't, in my opinion, have any fully satisfying experience without an ending, and that was something I feared was going away. Thankfully, there are plenty of good creatives out there who want to tell a concise story using gameplay as a medium, and this is one of the best I've played. On the simplest level, it's a climbing game. It takes a lot from Shadow of the Colossus in terms of the tone and feel, the loneliness as you attempt to climb from the base of an ancient tower to the top, finding information along the way about the people who lived there, and the apparent natural disaster that forced them to either leave or perish. You can see from this footage that the game is drop-dead gorgeous, another advantage of modern gaming. Thanks to advanced engines and freely available third-party middleware, relatively small teams with relatively few resources can create truly beautiful games. Some of these vistas are just breathtaking, and the sense of scale as you climb higher really hits home, especially as you can actually look down on some parts of the journey that once seemed almost impassable shrink into insignificance beneath your ascent. The story occasionally threatens to drift into a current-day politics zone of old people are evil and climate change will kill us all.
That is so unfair! I hate you!
But it pulls back from that effectively by making it clear that even the young people had no clue of the true threat, as the tragedy that befell their tower, the Jusant, which I learned afterwards literally means the removal of water, was caused by strange alien-like beings made of water. But ultimately, while the story, told entirely through found letters and correspondence, as there's not one line of dialogue in the whole game, helps build an atmosphere and tone, it's the pure gameplay that makes Jusant so compelling. Quite a bit more than Shadow of the Colossus actually, Jusant presents you with a much more detailed representation of actual climbing, asking you to fix your climbing ropes and select where to nail in your pythons on the way up, something you need to think tactically about, using the pythons not just as safety holds, but also as points from which to swing and reach faraway platforms or handholds. As the game goes on and you climb higher, you encounter more varied environments and more complicating factors such as weather. Plants you can climb wither in hot conditions. Extreme winds in stormy sections of the tower deplete your stamina faster and blow you off course when you attempt to jump to higher ground. But this can also work to your advantage if you bide your time and wait for an opportune gust in the right direction. The game's not hard and it's not particularly long. You can plough through this in about 4 hours if you really want to, but that's not how you should do it. This beautifully crafted world deserves to be explored. Speaking as someone who's never really been a completionist, you should find all the letters, uncover every piece of wall art, reconstruct every little statue. None of these really give you anything, but they do make you feel more connected to the tower and the world and the people who once lived there. I'm not sure if it's because I'm getting older or what, but it does seem that these quiet, contemplative, almost meditative games have been thriving of late. This is a thoroughly relaxing experience with just enough challenge to make it like a game of golf or something. It's beautiful and it's soulful, and I highly recommend that you try it. And it's on Game Pass, so there's really no excuse.